Hello YouTube, welcome to the Phone Sling channel. Today's video is all about the prototyping phase. I'm going to tell you what I did and give you some tips on things that I think you could use to help you develop your prototype. So the tips are the important things, and then I'm going to give you the example of what I did that helped me. No path is correct or wrong. It's just your path to your prototyping. So hopefully this video is somewhat helpful for you. So the first thing I did after I came up with the idea, which hopefully you watched the idea video, was I just started to sketch. I said, I need something. I need something, but I don't know what it is. So here it is. These are the first drawings. And there's lots of drawings. I mean, it goes on for pages and pages and pages of just terrible, terrible drawings, right? But every single little drawing helped me develop a little detail that I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. Or, oh, that won't work when you go to put it together in the manufacturing phase. So just start off by sketching. Vomit whatever ideas come to your brain. Just make it happen. Just do it. And the great part is you can do this while you watch TV. You can do it while you're watching Tiger King. I don't care what you're doing. Just draw, just sketch, and get your idea developed. So after that, I made the first prototype, and I did it using as cheap of parts as I possibly could. Sometimes, with some of them, it's wood, sometimes it's metal. In this case, I hate showing people this. It's kind of awkward. Yeah, these are my first prototypes. These ugly things. At one point, I thought actually someone would buy this off the shelf and put it in a backpack and carry it onto a plane with them and pull it out and put their phone in it. These are terrible. They're absolutely horrible. But you know what? I don't care. Because it was a starting place. It's what got things off to a start. So I'm going to throw these away because they're awkward, if you know what I mean. And after that, I said, okay, I'm not good enough at coming up with design. I need a real mechanical engineer. So I went to a friend of mine. His name is Ken. Ken is a mentor to me. Ken's more than twice my age, and he is one of the best mechanical engineers I've ever seen. Ken's son, in high school, asked his dad if they could make an electric car. So they made an electric car. They ripped an engine out of an Audi and then rebuilt and made the software and bought the batteries and all this stuff. So I knew Ken was good, and I've worked with Ken for a number of years. So I showed him the idea. I took him the nasty little rubber prototype. This one's broken because it's such a bad idea. And I said, this is my first idea, and it's terrible. And his wife agreed with me enthusiastically that it was a terrible idea. Pretty funny. And I said, let's get it going. So he has SolidWorks. SolidWorks is a CAD file program that mechanical engineers use that help them delete and add and make parts and make assemblies so that you actually have a working movable prototype on a computer screen. He was very good at that, lots of experience, way more experience than I have at it. So there was an advantage there. And we came up with some prototypes. Some had Velcro in them and all this other kind of stuff. And we ended up coming up with this design. So this is one of our prototypes. Now, I'm not going to show you every prototype. We went through 13 prototypes. So I don't know which one this is. This is actually one of the later versions, I think. But it's cloth, and your phone would slide in here. This is the little tab that you would put over the tray table lock, and here are the arms to adjust the angles. Like you can kind of see that there. But it was cloth. At this point I said, this just doesn't feel like someone would still buy it. It was nice because it's flat. You can roll it up. It can be really tight and small, and like you can slide that into a pocket somewhere in your bag and travel with it. But I went to all the airport accessories shops, you know what I'm talking about, the Hudson News, the Tech on the Go, those kinds of places, and I looked at the shelves. There wasn't a single phone accessory product that had any form of cloth or flexible material on it, maybe an exercise armband, but that's really a pretty niche area. So I said, we gotta abandon this thing, we gotta get rid of it. So I said, let's make it out of a hard piece of plastic. And that's where Ken went back to his drawing, collaborating with him, which would be, tip number 2. was one of the best things I did, because he came up with this next idea. This is like the first real true prototype of Phone Sling, but it's so fragile that I'm like scared to even open it up, because it has like, see, it's already coming apart right there. Like it just is very fragile. The way that we assembled it, it's got screws and bolts and nuts and stuff like that. But it has the basic fundamental idea of like, you flip it back, you rotate the tray table lock or tray table hook up, right? And you put it over the tray table lock. Like, it's still the fundamental idea. So I had him make, I think 3 or 4 of these. And then I got on the planes and I gave them to strangers, people who I was sitting in the aisle with. And I said, hey, would you mind trying this out? And they said, yeah, absolutely, because I'm tired of holding my phone. So I said, try it out, use it. Great part was, people broke it. It's right, it's a great part, they broke it. So I saw that because they were breaking it on the first time that they were using it, there was design flaws. And I took all the notes, I took all the feedback, and I went back to Ken and I said, hey, we got to do this better. So we went back to the drawing board. I went out and I bought other accessories. I bought things like other people's phone cases. Like, this is for some giant phone that I don't even know what it is. I think it's an iPhone case of some kind. But it's enormous. It is like the largest phone case I've ever seen. And I said, I need Phone Sling to fit this giant phone case. If it fits this, that's our max. I said, it's got to be smaller than this. Did things like that. Ken doing an awesome job. He came up with the final product. This is it. I'm really happy with this. This was expensive, but this is what you need to make a good Kickstarter. You need to have a good prototype. So this whole process, would be tip number 3. Don't be scared of the test-fix cycle. The test-fix cycle is one of the best things in the world for prototyping. We use this method at my day job. I use it for, well, obviously I used it for Phone Sling. That's what this whole video is about, right? So, the test-fix cycle. We made something, we tested it, said no, we fixed it. We made something, we tested it, we fixed it, and then we do this over and over again based on customer feedback. Now, there's some engineering feedback, but you can get so ingrained with your own prototype that you don't see its flaws. You don't see how it sucks. Like, because I was genuinely enthusiastic about this thing at one point. But this is so much better, and you got to swallow your pride and listen to people and ask for honest feedback. So test, fix, cycle. Work on it. Ask everybody. Ask strangers. Don't ask your mom. Mom loves you. Mom's always going to tell you she's proud of you and like that she's going to, everything you do is gold. You need someone, a friend, a business mentor, a business partner, a stranger, someone who can tell you like, this sucks or this is awesome. And as far as I'm concerned, this is awesome. Right now I've surveyed 176 people. And of those 176, only 4 of them said that they wouldn't buy this product. 2 of them were people who only travel like once every 3 years. One person said, I usually don't watch movies while I fly, even though they were when I offered them to use this. And the other one said, I only fly first class, and so I never need to use this. So those were the 4 who didn't want to buy it. Everyone else said yes. And I asked them about prices, and I asked them about mechanicals, and was it easy to use, and what was frustrating and confusing. And I'm going to make a whole video about the questions I asked, how I asked them, and the order I asked them, so I wasn't leading them to the answer that I wanted. I felt like I was ranting, because I'm excited, because the idea phase, this sketchbook is filled with tons of ideas. I mean, there's weird things in here too that I'm like, I don't know why I thought of that, but I did. This is the fun part. So I encourage you just to do it. I mean, half of success is just showing up, guys. So I hope this was a little bit inspiring, and I hope it gave you some feedback. I hope it gave you some information on what you need to do to make your prototype and the steps that I went through. This whole process took over a year. So don't think you're going to do it in a weekend. You got to be patient. But I got to ask this at the end of the video, hit that like and subscribe button, share it with your friends, because that's the way the algorithm works, and that's how we get this thing popular and ready for Kickstarter. So thanks for coming along.